So, you may have heard of the State Colorado, or the Chevy Colorado, or more unlikely, the Canon Colorado. But did you know there is such thing as a Hewlett-Packard Colorado? T3000? Neither did I! Hey smokers, welcome to the trailer channel. Today, obviously, we're working on an HP Colorado. Will it run? You know, I figured it's fitting considering there is such thing as a Chevy Colorado. You know, these guys, they go out, start up vehicles that haven't been started up in years. Well, this is basically the same, but computer version of that. I've tried this before, and, well, videos just don't turn out well. So this will either be a massive disappointment a few minutes in, or I have one of the best computers in here. Well, it's not going to be the best, but it will be one of the oldest. Because, well, oldest one is right over there at 1995. I'm sure this is 96, maybe? I have no idea what this thing is going to be running. But anyway, without further ado, let me show you inside of this machine. It's kind of a bit backwards. The panel loops around the entire machine. Awkward. Anyway, there's a better look inside. We have a Pentium 2 with MMX technology. I have no idea how to interpret any of that data. I have never had a Pentium 2 machine before. We have a Sound Blaster, some sort of modem card, a couple of Ethernet cards, and I assume a graphics card right here. We also have a ton of hookups. We have a hard drive there. I might take that out and see what capacity we have. And this will also help date the machine because that looks like a stock drive. This is a fan that's supposed to go up front that's kind of loose. We have an optical drive, and we think we even have a zip drive and a floppy drive. I only have one stick of the 4 populated, but that doesn't matter because I have PC 133 memory. I just didn't have a good machine to put it all in. So yeah, we'll upgrade that, and it even has an AGP slot, so depending on what this graphics card is, I might have something better we can throw in here. And well, the goal is just to see if it'll even run. Now, the reason he stopped using it is because the power supply fan was going out. I'm not scared of that because I can easily swap this power supply, and even if I don't want to, I can still rebuild that fan or replace that fan. So, I don't really care. We're just trying to see if it runs. It shouldn't need power supply fan to run, just to run for a few minutes. If it starts becoming an issue, I have a temporary fix. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead. Oh, that and the optical drive is, well, focus, professionally mounted, of course. So I guess first things first, we focus on getting that drive out of there, which I have literally. Okay, so the whole dang sled just pops out. That's interesting. It's always fun figuring out how these old machines come apart. And I am not paying attention to how any of this stuff goes. Maybe that was a bad idea. I'm pretty sure zip drive was not plugged up. And I might can look at the video later. So, let's go ahead and get this hard drive out. I have no idea if this hard drive works or not, so either way, I hope this machine can automatically detect sectors. Although, my luck, it doesn't, and this hard drive is bad, and none of my drives will even consider working with it. It's pretty stiff in there. Yeah. Ooh, a Mac store. Well, there's that info there. Go ahead and take a picture of that. For consequential damage, including loss of data. 1998 machine right there. I don't see a spec on how big it is. So that is unfortunate. I'm looking really hard and I cannot see any data that would imply. So that's cool. I've never had a Maxtor hard drive before. I imagine this sucker is going to be loud, but I don't care because it just has to work. Okay, so the screws went in on this side. It should also be obvious. I have no idea what I'm doing. I work on computers from 2009, not 1998, if it isn't obvious. So, if this thing doesn't work, there's a high chance I have no parts for this machine. Oh, and I have a magnet on my screwdriver while doing that. Probably not the smartest move, but I don't care because I don't even know if this works or not. You know, so there's no loss. So, we are about to find out just how compatible this Microsoft mouse and Logitech keyboard really are. This is the keyboard and mouse I've used so far in 90% of my videos. Well, the keyboard has been 100, but the Microsoft mouse has been pretty much, well, the last few videos. So, I'm about to plug this machine in. I wish I could have a view of the machine itself, but I just can't. There's not enough room in this trailer. Anyway, tally-ho. Lights flickered. And as far as I can tell, nothing happened. So I'm going to push what I assume is the power button. And nothing happened. Okay. What is this case? So power is up top. Maybe I didn't push it deep enough. Let me grab my screwdriver. Okay, so it ain't powering on at all. What did I do? Okay, so the solution was far simpler than I think it needed to be. I replaced the CMOS battery, so hopefully I don't have to input the hard drive data. There we go. I plugged it in. I don't see any fans spinning. That's not good. Oh! I'm wondering if this power supply isn't shot. So, I suppose that's exactly what we test. Now, we can either test the power supply, which is a little bit more complicated than a power switch, or we can try testing the power switch with the stuff down here. Let me see if I can locate which one. Power LED power switch is the third one from the bottom. Let's go ahead and stick a metal tool in there across those pins. Nothing. Okay. So let's go ahead and plug that back in. Considering that did nothing. I wonder if that processor has something to do with it, if it's not seated properly. I don't believe that there is any motherboard CPU power. This machine's too old for that. So this is all that runs the motherboard, which is what we're trying to get working. So, I have a power supply I know is good. yeah, just a little bit overkill. But, what else do we have to lose? The power supply. Yeah. So there it is. This is a 24-pin connector, but I'm wondering if we can just jam this on there. I can't really do this with the camera in the way. It's kind of difficult, you know? Just a little. What if it's backwards? Oh wait, I think we're going. Okay. No, that ain't gonna work. Okay. So, I need to find the power supply now. Here it is, my donor machine. Yeah, I got this machine running. And then it died about 3 months after I started using it. There's a tray that holds hard drives in place. And I would like to know, mini ITX motherboard may fit in this thing. But I have literally no idea why this machine stopped working, except it just did. Oh, there's a RAM stick in here. Go ahead and take that out and throw it on the floor by accident. Anyway, you get the gist of it. I'm going to take this power supply out, and we're going to use it, because that is a known good power supply, in that machine. I remember this machine now. So in order to get the power supply out, you need to take the motherboard out, because this didn't come with a full-size power supply. It came with a smaller form factor power supply, with an adapter to adapt a smaller smaller form factor power supply to a chassis that can fit a larger power supply. So this hits the capacitors on the motherboard, and I can't take it out without taking the motherboard out. I like this machine so much. Why is it being so mean to me now? So, motherboard is now loose. I should be able to slide this forward like this. And get the power supply jammed. Perfect. Now it's jammed. This was such a good working computer too. Of course it'd be the one that I need parts off of. That would be the easiest to get to. It's also the one the hardest to get the power supply out of. Now it's jammed. I was trying to be cheap by not removing the entire motherboard and unplugging it. Yeah, I think this was the hardest part. Of this machine. Victory! I've already robbed the CMOS battery in that other RAM stick, and while this is just gonna flop around in here, I might take the screws and tape them. Probably not gonna tape them. Screws will probably just rattle around in the bottom of this thing. Actually, they won't, because they would fall out. Want to know something ironic? Let's put this high-quality Dell power supply up to this HP. What could go wrong? Just literally that simple. Now, of course, you would normally have a 4-pin power for CPU, but since I don't have that, we don't have to worry about it. And key contact. Nothing. That isn't concerning at all. Where's the buttons? There they are. Reset. Oh, oh, oh! Hooray! Oh, crap. I stabbed my light with the screwdriver. 333 megahertz Pentium 2. I almost said 4. Memory test. Holy crap, that takes a long time. So it's a 128 stick of RAM. That was it. Power supply was dead. And it is the fan for the CPU that has gone bad. It's a ball bearing fan, so. But the good news is it's small, and I have 50,000 replacements of those. Not like the sound's an issue for me anyway. So, power supply is dead. Delete the inner setup. Let's go ahead. You can see. I can see my setup. Looks like already has the hard drive programmed in. I believe this is coming from the graphics card. So bingo! We have a working Windows 98 machine so far. So I guess what I need to do now, take that old power supply out and plug this new one in. And then upon doing so, we plug up everything to it, like the hard drive and whatnot, and we see if it boots off of, its hard drive. Quit without saving, yes. So that was it, a hard drive fault. A power supply fault. Takes a long time to do a memory test. Although you can press escape to skip it. That's pretty cool. So we'll probably try upgrading this to 512 gigs at least. Or maybe more along the lines of 700 megahertz. Yeah, I think it's trying to boot off the hard drive and it literally can't. I can't press the button. Yep, hard disk fail. Shut off, please. Okay, so machine is now shut down. I'm going to go ahead and swap this power supply in here. I'm going to button up this other machine over here, take all the parts that I might can use later out of it, and we'll set it up on the stand, see what it boots to, if it boots at all. Well, we know it goes to BIOS, but we don't know if it boots into an OS, but 90% of the time if you get to BIOS and everything checks out, as long as you have a bootable device of some type, like a floppy, a CD, or a hard drive, or even this thing has a zip disk, but I don't have any zip disks. 90% of the time it should just boot right into whatever OS you have your thing installed on. Wonderful. It's all plugged up. HP Colorado. First test fire in, well, not the first test fire, second test fire since who knows how long. I guess I'm just going to go with 2008. First try. A Dell power supply for an HP computer. Seems legit. Let's see if it'll boot off the hard drive now. Oh, oh. Sees the CD-ROM. Hey. Smart capability, none. Okay. Windows 95 with Microsoft Plus. Wow. Windows was not properly shut down. May have errors on it. Press any key to run scan disk on these drives. I'd rather not, but sure. So, someone didn't shut down Windows properly. I don't think my keyboard works. I need a PS2 keyboard. Okay, this is keyboard. Okay, so let's get this piece of junk out of the way. And this wouldn't be a video without Frankensteining something together, would it? Now I'm using an eMachines keyboard with a Microsoft mouse. Not really ironic, but more or less Frankenstein. So the PS2 ports don't tell you where the keyboard or mouse goes, so I'm assuming it's smart enough to not care. So that's what I'm going to do, not care. Come on. Power buttons on this machine are so difficult to hit. There's the fan complaining again. It's weird they threw this out just for a fan issue. Or is it even that fan? I don't know. Doesn't matter, I can still easily fix it. Okay, so now we should have working keyboard. If not, I am out of ideas. Windows 95, Microsoft Plus. I assume this was a very expensive machine back in the day. I literally can't do anything. Excuse me. Why are you no working? Hey, it was plugged in the wrong one. Oh. There we go. It's working. Oh, crap. Keep bumping into the camera. So, the hard drive works. Motherboard obviously works. Video card works. What's in the optical drive? That seems like a high-end optical drive that's in there. Excuse me. Give me your treasures inside. Okay, so the optical drive does not work. Luckily for me, I literally took the optical drive out of that machine I took the power supply out of. These two are going to be best friends forever. Apparently. The optical drive and the power supply. Because why wouldn't they be? At this point. So I guess I'm going to let this thing run. And I'll come back when we're at the desktop or something interesting pops up and I can't log in. So this does not have mouse support. Luckily, I happen to have the perfect PS2 mouse for this, if I can find it. So here it is. It is an IBM mouse. Perfect. So let's go ahead and try to navigate this machine with only a keyboard then, because, well, PS2 does not work, or maybe it does work. Okay, so it was owned by someone named Sherry. Oh joy. Can I just... how about no? So chances are I will be reinstalling this OS. Cool mouse cursor, by the way. Ooh. Bunch of cool stuff. I don't really pry through other people's stuff when I do this. But I do want to see the specs of my system. Of my glorious new machine. Oh, who set it up like this? This isn't how you set this. So I need to get to Device Manager. Does Device Manager exist on 95? It does. Okay. Pentium Pro, 128 megabytes RAM. So it gives you literally no information on the CPU, does it? Ah! Disk drives. Oh. Where did it go? Give me my thing back. Okay, let's shut this machine down and get a working mouse. Hewlett-Packard, Colorado. Cool. My now oldest machine that actually freaking works. So what I need to do, I need to take a picture of all the stuff in Device Manager. This is a pro tip. If you ever do get an old machine like this, instead of using the stock install, take a picture of everything and see if you can find the drivers for it on the system. Everything. The graphics card, all of your PCI cards, any disk drives that may be attached, if I didn't say that already. This mouse works great. Better than I was expecting, really. Can a Windows 2000 install on a machine like this? I don't know. I have no idea the size of the hard drive, so... seeing as it's running Windows 95, that might be a huge indicator of not much. Now I have mouse, but you don't give me anything else. Lovely! Hard drive light is illuminated though, so I'm just going to let that run, turn the camera off, then stuff is going to start popping up on the screen, and, you know, how that happens. Woo! Fancy! Has a 11 gigabyte hard drive in it. Fantastic. Anyway. Whoops. Let's go ahead and see what Device Manager. Okay, so let's take a look at floppy controller, hard disk controllers. I have no scroll wheel on this mouse. Keyboard, what does it say? Standard keyboard. Modem. Might need to keep that. Not really. Monitor, unknown monitor, not surprised. Okay. So I need to know those. COM ports, I don't use those. System devices. Good thing is I have this on video. My pictures do literally nothing for me. Okay. Sound. We're going to need that. Very important. Don't forget about sound. Okay, so let me take pictures of this on my other phone, and then I'm going to look around, see if I can find any data on this computer that I might need to transfer over to the previous owner, and then I guess I start pondering what OS to install on this computer and what to do with it, because it works perfectly fine. I mean, right now it looks like, you know, garbage I found at a scrapyard. But it works perfectly fine, you know. I don't really have any games that could work on this except maybe Blackjack. But I don't even know if that would work on this machine because it's only a 300 megahertz processor. I'm confused at this point. We know the machine works perfectly fine. That was the question as to what to do with it after I get all this stuff done. Oh, another thing we might need to check up on is any programs that are installed. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through this. iOmega Tools for Windows 95. Catch up 1.3. America Online. Microsoft Office 2000 Premium. So this was used past 2000. Windows 95 Plus. QuickTime for Windows, a classic there. TextBridge Classic, WinZip, Yahoo Messenger. I bet that brings a lot of memories back for all of y'all. I don't really do a lot with Windows 98, so Windows ME may be the way to go. Okay, so I'm just getting ready to put this video together when I remembered I saw something interesting. Unfortunately, I got a blue screen. Explorer. This is why I don't like using other people's installs. Man, I don't know why it got so broken so suddenly. I didn't remove anything. I put it into another system, but I didn't boot from it. I just booted off of a USB and copied over documents and files that the previous owner might want. But apparently it's not too happy with me. Task Manager. I wonder if there's some sort of virus on it. I don't know. But I will try to rewind the footage as I'm talking here and mute it. But if you look closely, you'll see it said 2013 on one of the programs, if I remember correctly, was the year that it was last used. 2013. Okay, to put this into perspective, the computer I robbed the power supply from to make this thing run, yeah, it was from 2001. This machine's from 1998. Keep that in mind. It had a Pentium 3 at 1 gigahertz, still used PC 133 RAM, but the impressive part was that it was used up into 2012. It was reset with Windows XP sometime in 2008, I believe. And the person used it until 2012. This runs, and that thing ran Windows XP, Service Pack 2. This thing runs Windows 95 and was used way up until 2013. Isn't that impressive? And still only having 1 stick of RAM installed. So, yeah. Unfortunately, this install is foobarred anyway. Not like I was going to use it. Or maybe I foobarred it. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I got the info off that I needed to. Okay, so this is the drive we want. Unmount. Can't really hear it, but it's definitely making some noise over there. I don't know if this drive has smart data or not, so I want a new partition. Not exactly sure. Okay. So I'm probably going to put it about 1.8, so DOS is kind of happy, because I think 2 gigabytes is the maximum you can add for DOS. So we are going to put DOS and add. And then the rest of this will be NTFS for Win 2000. And there we go. Drive is going to be nuked. So, there we go. All we should have to do, pop drives into the system, install it onto the hard drive, and then that should be easy as that. And there we go. We now have DOS, Windows 2000. Wonderful.